I'm the Spanish director for the missionary. I don't know how many of you have heard this ministry. It's an online medical missionary course. So I'm going to be sharing with you about a word that you're probably familiar with, and I'm going to share my PowerPoint. How to do this. Okay, let me see. And I have to go here. There. So how many of you have heard or have taken Quercetin? If you have, just type in the chat. Well, I mean, I think this word became very famous during the pandemic, but I'm going to be talking about where you can find this. So here we have the onion. So it is a widely occurring polyphenol, found abundantly in nature. You can find them in a lot of other fruits and vegetables, citrus. And apart from onion, you have this. Onion is the highest, right? But you will also find this in kale, cherry tomatoes, broccoli, apples, parsley, citrus fruits, and so on. And so this is the onion is the highest. So polyphenol, sometimes, you will wonder, like, what is it? What is it that onion has this quercetin, and what is the polyphenol? So it is like a flavonoid, in this case, quercetin, and it comes from the ability to function as antioxidants inside our body. So that's what we want, right? Especially now in the time that we're living, we want to have, we want our bodies to be kept healthy and strong. So antioxidants are compounds that can bind to and neutralize the free radicals. And what is it that, the free radicals, you may wonder, these are unstable molecules that may cause cellular damage when their levels become too high. So we're going to have some, but it's all in balance. But when it's too high, then we're going to have some cellular damage, and that's not what we want. So the damage is caused by free radicals has been linked to numerous chronic conditions like cancer, heart disease, and diabetes. So when we talk about chronic conditions, what is it? These are illnesses that you have it like for a long time. So then this is not what we really would like to keep on having this chronic. We want to stop this, right? But of course, science says that there's no cure, but God has made our bodies to heal if we allow it. If we give the condition, right, and the right environment. So this is, and quercetin is the most abundant flavonoid in the diet. So here we're talking about the onion. So phytochemicals in the onions. Onion contains diverse phytochemicals, including organosulfur compounds, phenolic compounds, and all these names here that you have. So the phytochemicals, all the plants have this. And the plants, like the vegetables and beans and fruits, grains. And so they are part of the plant's immune system and help protect the plant from viruses, bacteria, fungi, and parasites. So phytochemicals can offer humans some of the same protection. So how important it is then that we consume all the fruits and vegetables, including the beans and the grains, so that we can get these phytochemicals in our diet, right? And so this is essential for our health, and they protect our cells from damage caused by the environment, toxins and the body's natural chemicals, the metabolic processes. So this is what the onion has, the phytochemicals that is protecting us. And so there are more than 400 compounds that have been identified in the onion, including the flavonoids, phenolic acids, amino acids, peptides, saponins, and fatty acids. So these are very important. And I know a lot of people, they don't like the onions because of the bad breath, right? So what do? I like onions, honestly. And some people, when they, I like salads, and I mean, putting my salad, but sometimes there's this salad is just onions, tomatoes, a lot of parsley and cilantro, and then you put some salt and lime juice. I like lime better than lemon, but either way. So a lot of people when I eat that, but some people wash the onion with salt. I don't know if some of you have. So they put salt in the onion and they kind of like crunch it to get rid of that strong flavor and smell. And then they wash it and they put all everything that what I mentioned in the ingredient that I like the salad. I don't do that. I don't mind. Well, not that I don't mind the bad breath, but I guess I'm used to it. And so this is what we need, especially with the time that we live in now. We need to protect ourselves. And now I have the viruses. This is so common, what is happening now. They're not talking about just SARS. They're talking about now the mpox and many other things that we want to be our body to defend ourselves. And so the onion has, the treatment to help us fight and face this, whatever is out there. Because remember, the Bible says the pestilences will be around us. And so we need to protect ourselves. And so God has given us the onion to do that. And I'm going to give you a recipe and so that you can write it down. But the flavonoids molecule, quercetin, is currently considered one of the most promising. Some people have taken in a capsule form, but you know what? God created the onion as a whole. We want to eat the whole onion, not just because take what little thing and then I will just eat the quercetin. Because later on, there will be studies done that our body are not used to that. God has given us the whole package, not just to take a piece of it and then consume it in greater amount. That is not healthy for us. And also with all the chemicals and all the things that they put in the capsule, that is not healthy either. You know, in the med missionary course, our medical missionaries, sorry, they learned that you want to get it from your food, everything, all the vitamins and the minerals, because that's what God created for us. And that is what our body needs. And so this is going to protect us from the severe acute respiratory syndrome that is happening. There's so many sick people around, right? And so why is it that we are going to be buying capsules when we can really buy the fruits, buy all the vegetables, and we need to eat right also. We cannot mix fruits and vegetables. And in this case, the onion is going to help us. It's going to help us with the viruses. So here, I don't know how long I have, but I'm going to give you a recipe. Onion broth. This helps with inflammation. I mean, don't you want to lower your inflammation? Because when we have diabetes, when we have heart issues, anything, even when we get sunburn, we have inflammation. When a 30 years old person has acne, in the faces, it's like that's supposed to be for the teenagers at that age, not when you're 30 or 40, right? So that's inflammation. And so the onion broth will help. We have I'm a lifestyle coach, and I also help people. And in this case, this lady had cancer. It came for the second time, and that's when she said, like, no, I need to stop whatever I'm doing. So she came to me, and so I had her take this onion broth like 6 to 8 times because it's gonna lower the inflammation. And remember too, the loss of health. That is so important because you can be eating healthy, you can be drinking all the green juices that you can, but if you're eating if you're going to bed like around midnight, then we're violating a law, and it's gonna take a toll on all of us. So it is important to keep in mind that we need to keep the laws of health. We have the 9 laws of health, and 8, but one has been added, and that's our environment. So we can talk later about that. But here's the recipe for the onion broth. 1 large onion, 5 cloves of garlic. And remember, with the garlic, when you cut it or when you smash it, just wait about 10 minutes. You want the allicin. That is another powerful antioxidant, antimicrobial, anti-cancer. So you want to wait about 10 minutes to 15 minutes so that way the allicin can be produced. And then you put this in 3 cups of boiling water, cup of water, and you boil it for 15 minutes. You don't want to overdo it because then, the onion tends to be sweet, and we don't want that because when there is a dysbiosis in our bodies, in our gut, then we're not helping. So 1 large onion, 5 cloves of garlic, and 3 cups of water. You boil it for 15 minutes, and then all you're going to drink is just the liquid. In between, we don't want you to be drinking it with your meals. This is supposed to be in between. And you're not going to be eating the onions or the garlic. If you love the garlic, you're not going to eat it because we don't want digestion to start, because we want 5 hours in between so that way your body, your digestive system can clean up and be ready for the next meal. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer. And I just want to say that we have a class starting next Sunday. And so this is for a medical missionary. This is the right hand of the gospel. This opens the door for people to hear God's message, especially, we know he's coming soon. There are so many things that are happening. So many people are sick. And so even in our churches, and people that are vegetarian doing the right thing, and for some reason they are sick because there's certain things that, like gluten is one of them that we want to put that away. So we teach all that, and our medical missionary helps themselves and others with the diet and the protocol. Hi, Barbara. How can I help you?
It's Sonya.
Hello there.
Hi.
Hi.
So good to see y'all.
You got 2 Barbaras on.
Barbara Budden. I'm Barbara Budden.
Oh, there's 2 Barbara. Barbara, oh, I just see Barbara Wooden and then Barbara Brown. Okay. So who has a question? Barbara Brown, you have a question? You raise your hand.
I do. Thanks for calling me. Let's see, I've got the recipe, and as you were going over the recipe again, you said the onion was to be mashed. I know the garlic cloves are to be mashed, but the onion is that to be cut up into pieces, or is it supposed to go into the water whole?
Yeah, the onion, thank you for your question. The onion, you just cut it in 4th and just take out, the outer skin, just cut it in 4th, and then put it in the pot, and then the 5 cloves of garlic. Just make sure you smash it or cut it, and wait that 10 minutes to 15 minutes for the allicin. And then 3 cups of water, you boil it for 15 minutes, and you want to drink it kind of like warm. We don't want you to drink it hot. We don't want you to drink it cold. So kind of like in warm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, another thing I forgot to add, salt. But we want to use the Celtic salt because the
right.
Celtic salt has minerals. Our body lacks minerals, and that's what we need. So this has more minerals. So you take that, and according to your taste, this is not, some people suffer from edema, especially heart failure patients. But the Celtic salt, it's a good salt that it kind of like helps because it has minerals and it helps with edema too.
Okay. And you're saying Celtic salt, you didn't give an amount, so you said to taste.
To your taste, yeah. We don't want, of course, we don't want it to be like salty, but just enough, just
Right.
enough. And then if you are like, even if you have COVID, you can drink like
Mm-hmm.
eight of cups of this onion broth. That will lower your inflammation. That will, people do heal. There's a lot of things that you can also do, but this is great to drink.
All right. And how many times a day? 2, 3?
2, 3, it depends. Like if you're really sick, like this lady, she had cancer for the second time. She was drinking 6 to 8.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh,
she did well, and she changed her diet because she is Catholic, and she wanted me to do the coaching, and then she ended up taking the course, and now she is
Mm-hmm.
helping others and with their health issues. So it is a good course, and I encourage you to take this course.
Thank you. And
Thank
thank you.
you.
And Barb, the other Barbara is now going to ask you a question.
Hi, Barb.
Hello. Aloha from Texas. Well,
What question do you
I-
have, Barb?
well, I have a lot of back pain. I have 2 discs that are smashing my nerves because there's absolutely no cushion, no what do you call that in between the joints? The cushion in between each
Yeah,
vertebrae. So
yeah.
it's all gone, and they're smashing my nerves together, and it's extremely painful. And I had a shot the other day. I've had 2 shots prior to that in my back, which did not do
Did not
anything
work.
at all. It was a steroid and some kind of a medicine, and I don't like it at all. It gave me headaches for 2 days in a row, each time
Wow.
I did it. Then just the other day, the doctor said that this would be a different type of medicine and he wouldn't use as much. Well, I had the same effect. As a matter of fact, I still have a residual headache from it, and it's not doing any good. And I have got to get this under control in order for me to be an effective witness for the Lord and being able to go door to door and tell people about the Lord. And I am just, it can become very bumming and depressing
Yeah.
because
No,
this consistent pain and condition
yeah.
that I have. So what would
Yeah.
you recommend?
You know, the bed, this is how you call this, the down bed. I mean, there's the word. My husband had one. This is the one that Costco has, that you can just lay down and then you kind of like your head goes back. That is gonna kind of like pull, and it's gonna give you some pressure relief from your back. Invertebrate.
Oh,
Inverted. Is
can
it
you
inverted?
excuse me for a moment? I have a customer that just came by. Just a second, please. I'll be right with you.
Sure, no problem. So while she is
Yeah, there was another
away,
question.
yeah, there's another question.
Yeah, it says Temple Emmanuel. I think
Temple
this is the
Emmanuel.
host. You wanna? Yeah.
Yeah, my name's Linda. I
Hi,
had
Linda.
a question. Well, there's somebody who did put something in the chat, and I'm sure you can answer this real quick. They want to know, can the broth be kept in the fridge and for how long? And then I'll ask you my question, but you can go ahead and answer that one first.
How long about, I'm sorry?
They want to know how long can the broth be kept in the fridge and for how long? And then I'll ask
So,
my question after that.
yeah, so with the onion broth, you want to drink it. Sometimes, when our medical missionaries students, when they take the course, they follow the recipes and the protocol. And so until they feel better. And people, when they have ulcers, they do drink the same, the onion broth. And so until they feel better, but remember too, we need to know about their lifestyle. Are they eating right? Are they sleeping the hours that they need to? Are they going to bed the time that they need to go? When is the last meal? And is it a heavy meal? Because we teach our students that you cannot take digestions when you go to bed. When we sleep, our body heals, right? And so, and some people say, well, I can wake up, if I go to midnight, then I can wake up 9, 10. It's not the same. We have our cycles, sleep cycles, and we cannot really extend that until we wake up like 10 or 9. Or sometimes people will say, well, I can take a nap. But when you take a nap, you don't have your sleep cycle. So we need to see, that, what conditions is the person health, are they following? Are they violating any one of them? And so diabetes, what is it that they have so that way we can see, but the person will drink until they feel better. But remember, they have to change their lifestyle. They have to change the diet. We have an anti-inflammatory diet with a protocol that they follow. And the onion broth is part of the protocol that people get better. If you go to Med Missionary, just one word on YouTube, you will have tons of testimonies of people getting better. And we acknowledge, we recognize that God is the healer. We do our best and He blesses everything that we do,
Amen.
but He is the healer.
Right. I think you misunderstood the question. What she was asking was, how long is the broth good for in the refrigerator? Or can you even put it in the refrigerator, and for how long?
I see. I apologize. So it is good to keep it for 2 to 3 days. So if you want to make a big pot, that is good, but we don't want to extend it over. And also with the onion, what I forgot to mention, it's better to have the yellow onion or the purple. The purple will tend to have a different color, but that is fine. The white onion is less, so in that order, like the red, the purple, and the white to use for the onion broth.
Okay. All right. I had a question. Cancer seems to be so widespread now, and it comes in all different ways. And so many people now, it's like when you hear the word cancer, it's traumatizing for people, and it's almost like an instant death threat. So, as a medical missionary, what do you suggest people, not waiting till you get diagnosed with it, but what steps can they take to start now, reducing or, increasing their percentages not to get it? Like, what is the best form of diet for them to follow? So that
For a cancer person that has had the cancer for a while or just recently?
No, preventive. They haven't.
To prevent.
For all people, yes.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be the lifestyle. If we follow the 9 laws of health, trusting in the Lord, have that peace, because sometimes resentment, it uses a lot of our energies. So, and, eating right, because I have a lecture, eating for an optimal immunity. We learned that gluten it's really bad for our health because gluten has a protein. It has two protein, but one of them is a gliadin that is going to affect the lining walls of our gut. And our sister White, she mentioned long time ago that the gut has an effect in all our bodies and our brain.
Oh,
And so we need to protect, we need to learn to eat organic. We need to, we have principles of, soaking and sprouting. We want to remove all the lectins so that way we are, all the anti-nutrients, it's moved so that way we can get everything instead of pulling from our bodies, our little nutrients that we have, we will get it from our food that we eat. So, I think those are very important. And if you can drink the onion broth, yeah, that will be good.
okay. So when you're saying the change in diet, what are you meaning exactly? So that people know, because, there's a lot of different people on here. Might everybody, I don't know if everybody on here is from the faith. So what would you advise them to start on, and what to start eliminating from their diets to avoid the issue of cancer?
Well, fried fruits, all the oils, yeah, fried fruits, the oils are really bad because they have too much omega. We're eating too much omega-6. And so we're supposed to have a balance between 3 and 6. And so the oils are really bad. And when you are following the course, the menu, it has no oils. And that's to help your body. And so the fruits, all the, if our body, sometimes we may have dysbiosis, that's an imbalance in the gut microbial. So sometimes the sweets in our fruits, we want to go into the fruits that have lower sugar content, so that way we're not really feeding those bad microbials that are taking over. But yeah, make sure that you follow the 9 laws of health, the sleep, trusting in the Lord, the water, the fresh air, sunlight. That is so important. And we're told that, no, don't go outside. Or if you're sick, you need to expose yourself, go out,
Fresh
smell
air.
that fresh air and the sun and everything.
Okay. All right.
Thank you. Hi, Barbara. Oh, she,
Go ahead,
oh,
Barbara.
Barbara.
Your hand's up.
Barbara? Yeah,
Barbara Brown.
Barbara.
You're
Budin, I think,
you're on mute. You have to unmute.
did you
so
want to mute?
I can hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me? Okay, there I am.
Now,
Thank you for calling me again. Linda was asking about like the lifestyle. We more or less want to lean toward the vegetarian or the vegan lifestyle, but you can't, a lot of people just can't jump into it. So what you want to do maybe, and if I'm right, lessen your protein, your animal, your animal food intake. Although with the vegetarian, that would, you would be able to consume eggs, oil, and butter. I think it is butter, eggs, oil, I know.
Well, for vegetarian, you mentioned about a vegan diet. Vegan, they eat all the processed, it is processed food, the cheese, the meat, and even the Loma Linda food that, that are in the can or frozen, they are highly processed. And so
Okay, yeah.
we want to put that away. And also with the eggs, one person was saying like, yeah, but I'm raising my own chickens, I'm feeding them. And so, but Sister White says that at the end, and I believe we are at the end times. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we're
Oh,
seeing many things
definitely.
happening. You don't know, you wake up in the morning and something has happened already. Laws have passed while you were
Mm-hmm.
sleeping. So, they recommend that we give those away. And God has given us food for us to eat, the vegetables, the greens, and
Mm-hmm.
everything. And we need to trust in Him. And so He will bless every effort. But I will just put away all the vegan butter, the vegan cheese, the meats and everything, and start making, from scratch. And the simple recipes, I'm very practical in the kitchen. I cook from scratch. But I'm practical. I don't like to spend my whole time in the kitchen, and I like to eat. And I eat, I enjoy my meal, but make it simple yet delicious. And with the course, you will have the menu. And there is this book. I have this in Spanish. This is the how you call this, autoimmune cookbook, anti-inflammatory diet. And so these are simple recipes that for people that work, for people that are not used to being in the kitchen, but we want to take our body
Mm-hmm.
good care of it, because highly processed food is not going to help us. Fried food are not going to help
Mm-hmm.
us. Mixing vegetables with fruits, they're not going to help us either.
Not even raisins or apples in my salad. I do that. I'll
No.
do that a lot. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because greens are harder to digest. They take longer versus the apple
Mm-hmm.
that will, and that fast. So what happens is going to stay longer in your stomach, and then it's gonna turn into vinegar, and all this is going to jeopardize your health and thinking and your brain and everything.
Mm-hmm.
For
Well,
how
thank
long?
you. Oh,
Thank you. For how long you can keep
mm-hmm.
the broth in the fridge for 2 to 3 days. And remember, you're gonna be
Okay.
drinking, like lukewarm, and it's really good. I really like it.
There's one more question
Thank
from
you.
Chris.
Yes, hi Chris.
Chris, if you want to unmute.
Hey, how are you?
How
First,
are
I want to
you?
thank you for coming on, you and your colleagues. I'm so grateful for you guys tonight.
Thank
And I
you.
do strongly believe in all the benefits of eating natural, holistic, and as little processed as possible. So, my question is about tofu. How
Okay.
healthy is it? Because some people say it is processed. Is it okay if you limit how much of it?
Oh,
You know, the
Chris,
tofu.
I'm sorry. Chris, I muted you by accident. Unmute yourself, please. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to.
It's okay.
Go ahead.
I was just asking about tofu. I know it's processed, by in the minds of some people.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work to make it from scratch, but it's doable. What's your take on that?
Yes. So from the tofu, it depends, because the tofu, the oats, what is the other one? Corn, wheat. These are highly GMO. Pesticides like glyphosate, Roundup, is being used. And one person was telling me, like, no, you're wrong. Roundup is to kill the whatever it is, right? Whatever is it a flower? Is it a grass? Whatever it's supposed to kill, but they use it for the purpose of drying out the crop so that they can put it back. I mean, sell it and put it in the markets so they get the money fast. And so what happens? They spray all this. Do you think they're gonna wash that seed and they're gonna grind it and make it flour? We're eating that. And so the same with soy. soy because they worry about how we're gonna feed the population, the world population. So they started, messing with the seed, GMO, and all this. So unless you know that this is organic, this hasn't been, tampered, but when you're trying to heal your body, I don't know about your health condition, but it's, that's not going to be part of your diet. That's going to be out. Also the corn and the wheat, the yeast flake and all that is going to be put aside because it is not for us to eat while your body is sick and is trying to heal. So unless you make it from scratch, unless you know that it's organic, then you can. And in Argentina, in Brazil, they have a lot of growth of this the soy. And it is sad. I saw a document about the family having cancer, the kids, very sick. And so they fled, to the city. They didn't want to come back because it was so polluted. The lands were so polluted. And that's what they sell to the US and to other countries, the soy. And so just be careful, that it is organic. Any questions? Hello?
Yep, we're still on. Is there any more questions before we close out for the evening?
I said, I want to thank you for inviting me.
Oh, we're
It
glad
was
to
nice
have
to be
There's
here.
one question in the chat for you, Sonia, about when is the course?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, the course, I think I
Can you
have
put
my
the link in the chat for her, just so that she can go online and look?
Oh, here, I'm sharing this. So
Okay.
this is the 22nd. And so you will learn about, let me share this. During the pandemic, I had so many friends that they were waiting for the borders to open up, to leave the country, to go out. What happened? They got sick. They didn't want to change their lifestyle. I mean, they're eating. They like what they eat. And so one of them now has diabetes. The other person has now cancer. And now they're saying, like, I cannot leave. Now they're dependent on the system. And that is so sad. How important it is for us to keep our body healthy, especially now. I pray daily. Thank you, Lord, because I can still, do the things that I can to, like what you guys are doing, sharing the great controversy, doing all these things. We need to be healthy now. And so here you're going to learn about a menu, an anti-inflammatory menu that is going to heal you. And if you're not sick, it's going to give you energy. And then we have the protocol. We have a lot of things that you can learn and help others. So our class starts on the 22nd, and on the bottom you see medmissionary.com. That is where you will register. And it starts next Sunday. It is at 7 California time. So Eastern Standard Time will be 10, right? Yeah.
There's a question in the chat. It says, what time is it each Sunday? Could you?
Yeah,
Sorry,
it's at 7 Pacific Standard Time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I do encourage, and sometimes it's not about, we have learned to say, I have GERD. What is the natural remedy? I have ulcer. Give me the remedy. Give me remedies. But we need to go to the root cause. Why is it that you have ulcer? And so in this problem, we need to go to the root cause. And this is what you will learn. We do have natural remedies, but that is secondary because we want you to get better That's what God wants us, because we need to be stronger, especially in this time, so that we can face, holding his hand, whatever comes our way. But yeah, it's this Sunday, and I hope that you can enroll into the program. And we have this Sunday starts the Spanish and the English class. Hi, Barbara.